All right, math lesson 3. Here's our objective. We are still focusing on multiplication, but today we're going to learn about what factors means. So the objective is we can understand the meaning of factors, which means the size of the group, so the size of each group, or the number of groups, so how many groups are there. Before we get started with that, here's some terms that we've learned so far that I wanted to review. We've learned the term product. And remember, product means the total. So 3 times 4 equals the product of 12, or the total of 12. Another term that we've learned so far this week is arrays. And arrays means a drawing related to multiplication with rows. So here is our array. Remember, they're in order, and there's rows. So 1, 2, 3 rows in this array. And then today we're going to learn our new term, factors. So by the end of this lesson, you will understand what factors means in multiplication. Before we dive in to our lesson, we are going to complete our application problem. All right, let me get my pen. Here we go. So remember, when we do an application problem, we use RDW. R meaning we read, so we're going to read the problem. D means we're going to draw out how we're going to solve it. So maybe a picture, maybe a multiplication sentence, or adding and subtracting, whatever it is. And then W means we're going to write a sentence once we've solved our problem. So here we go. Robbie sees that a carton of eggs shows an array with 2 rows, I'm going to circle that, of 6 eggs. What is the total number of eggs in the carton? I'm going to underline the question here. So let's see. What are they asking us to find out? Well, they're asking us to find out this keyword here, the total or the product, right? So they're asking us for the total. That's what we need to find. They're also asking us to draw an array, which we did yesterday, or in lesson 2. So we have our numbers here. Our numbers are egg cartons are 2 rows of 6 eggs in each row. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the picture. So here's my picture. I'm going to draw, I know I have 2 rows, so here's my first row, and I know that in each row is 6 eggs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's my 1 row, my first one. And then I have 2 rows, so 1 more row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I draw 2 rows of 6? I did. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so now I can solve it, right? Now I can figure out what the total is. But I know that this looks like a multiplication problem, right? Because we did it yesterday. So I'm going to set up my problem, my multiplication sentence here. And I'm going to put, okay, so I know I have, how many groups do I have? This is number of groups is always the first one. And I have 2 groups, 1, 2. And in each group, or in each row, are 6 eggs. So to solve this, I'm going to do 2 times 6. Well, I know I can skip count by 6s to find my total. So here's 6. And then after that is, does anybody know? 12. Good. So our total is 12. Now I solved my problem, right? I know that the total number of eggs in this egg carton is 12. Now I read it, I drew it, now I'm going to write it. Robbie's egg carton has 12 eggs. Ta-da! All right, now let's go into our lesson. So we're going to do an opening activity now, and so I want you guys to put your pretend hats on again. We're going to pretend that we are in class, okay? We are going to divide ourselves into 4 equal groups. So there's kids going to go in one corner, in the other corner, and the other one, and the other one, okay? And we have 24 students in our class, so we have to split ourselves up equally into each corner. So I say, all right, ready, set, go. You guys run, you go to each corner, and here we go, let's see. So I have one person goes here, one person goes here, one person goes here. Okay, so far I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh-oh, you guys not see that? 8. Okay, let me make this up, put this up a little bit. There we go. Now you can see. Okay, now we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Okay, so you guys have split yourselves up into each corner of the room. So let's check. Do we have an equal number of students in each corner? We do, right? We have 6 here, 6 here, 6 here, and 6 here. All right, so now on my signal, I want you to tell me, have we made an equal number of groups? 1, 2, 3. Yes, we did. We did 6, right? I'm gonna say 4 equal groups. 4 equal groups. So we have 4 groups. At my signal, tell me if the size of each group is equal. So do we have an equal group in here, an equal group of kids in here, and here, and in here? On my snap, 1, 2, 3. Yes, we do. We have 6, 6, 6, 6, right? All right. Now these numbers that I just did, the number of groups, which was 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the size of each group, which is, oops, where did my big pin go? There it is, which was 6, right? These are called factors. That's that word I was talking about in the beginning of the tape, when I started taping, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so these are called factors. The size, or the number of groups, and the size in each group, factors. So now we need to figure out what's our total. I wonder what our total is. We don't know that yet. Let me erase my board real quick. We're gonna figure that out next. All right, so we knew that the number of groups that we had, our factor for that was 4. Then our factor for the size of each group was what? It was 6, right? Now we're going to draw an array to solve this problem. So we have 4 rows, right? 4 groups, 4 rows. An array is rows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, so I don't mess up, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know I have 4 rows. I have a row that's going to go here, 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 and here. Now I'm going to add 6 dots in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. So what can I do to solve this problem? Can I add up all the dots all together? Yeah, I can do that. Can I skip count each row to figure out the answer? I can do that too. So let's try skip counting by 6s. This is going to be really hard, but that's okay. We're going to practice. 6, 12, 18, 24. All right, so our total is what? 1, 2, 3, 24. Okay, so that is called our what? Do you remember our total is also called our product? And these two, these are called what? Factors. All right, now we're gonna go a step further. One step further. Now let's draw a number bond. We can also draw a number bond for our equation, just for fun, because I like number bonds. My kids knew that from last year. So our equation was, our multiplication sentence was 4 times 6 equals 24. Okay, so 24 is my total, and we know in a number bond that our total starts in this big circle on top, right? This is always where we put our total, 24. And then now we have 4 circles here. What do you think the 4 circles represent? They represent the number of groups, right? Or the number of rows. So we drew 1, 2, 3, 4, because we have 4 groups. And in each group, we have how many? Or in each row, we had how many? We had 6. Good, so this is how we would draw a number bond for a multiplication equation. And that is something you guys will be doing in your independent work today. Okay, let's look at this picture now. This is one last thing I'm gonna go over before we do before we practice. Okay, so here we go. We have a picture here, right? Here's our picture. We need to figure out what the number of groups are. So how many groups are there? The size of each group. So how many are in each group? We need to also do a multiplication equation to solve. And on number C is there are blank stars all together. So we need to figure out what the total is, or the product. Okay, let's start with A. The number of groups. Okay, well I see that I have 1 group here, 2 groups here, and 3 groups here. So I know that the number of groups is 3. Now I go to this one, size of each group. Okay, I know that here on this group, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stars in this group. And I see the same here, and I see the same here. So the size of each group is 6. Now I get to do my multiplication sentence. Here's the number of groups, 3 times, what's the size of the group? Oh, the size of the group is 6. And now I need to solve. I need to figure out what my total is. I'm gonna skip count by 6s to find the total. 6, 12, 18. So I know that my total is 18. Or I could add up all my stars to figure out what my total is. So there are 18 stars all together. All right, now it's your turn. I want you to pause your video, and I want you to get your whiteboard out. Your marker, your Expo marker, and your eraser. Okay, on this one, you have 3 things that you're doing. 3. You are going to draw an array. You are going to make a number bond. And you're going to write the multiplication equation. So blank times blank equals blank. Okay? So what I'm going to do is, if I had a whiteboard, and they want you to draw and solve for 3 rows of 5. So I'm actually going to do that here. 3 rows of 5. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an X like this so I can keep it organized. And here I'm going to do my array. You don't have to write this, but I do want you to do your X. not your X, your T. And then I'm gonna do, I think I'll do my number bond here. You can put it wherever you want. You do not have to write number bond. And I think I'm gonna write my equation here. Okay, so blank times blank equals blank. I want you to solve for this. Solve for 3 rows of 5. Pause the video and solve for this. Okay, let's see if we got it correct. Here's our array. So if I'm doing 3 rows of 5, this is the easiest way I like to do it. If you have another way to do it, that's okay too. I like to put 3 dots first so I know that I have 1, 2, 3 rows, right? Now I'm going to fill it in. I know I have 5 in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, if I'm going too fast, you can always pause. So there's my array. Is it a perfect array? No, but that's okay. All right, now I'm going to do my number bond. So I'm going to draw a big circle here, and then I need to figure out how many groups do I have? How many rows or groups do I have? I have 3. So I'm going to make 3 circles coming off of my big circle. Can you guys see that? There we go. My total, do I know my total yet? No, I didn't really solve it there, but I'm going to go back and solve it in my array. So I'm going to count by what? What am I going to count by? I'm going to count by 5s, right? 5, 10, 15. So I know my total is 15. So I have my 3 groups, my 3 rows, right? And there was, the size of each group was 5. So that's what your number bond should look like. Now I'm going to write my equation. I know that my number of groups, or my number of rows, was 3. I had 5 in each group, and my total was 15. Hopefully that's what you got. All right, go ahead and erase your board. We have 1 more to do. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to draw an array, make a number bond, and write the equation. This one's for 2 groups of 8. So 2 groups of 8. There we go. I'm going to make my T. And I want you to do your array. You can do it here or here, doesn't matter. Write your equation. Remember, you don't have to write these parts. And your number bond. Pause the video and see if you got it right. All right, here's our array. So with my array, I know I have 2 groups, right? Or 2 rows. Remember, groups also can mean rows. So I have, and I like to do it this way, but like I said, if this doesn't work for you, that's okay. If it confuses you, that's okay. I have 2 rows. 1, 2. 1, 2. Now I'm going to fill in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you should have put 8 in the first row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now I have 2 rows of 8, or 2 groups of 8. And now I'm going to skip count to figure out what my total is. 8, and if I skip count, oh gosh, that's a big one. I haven't really practiced my skip counting by 8, so let's go. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so I know the next number is 16. There's my total. Now I'm going to do my number bond. There's my total in the big circle. How many groups am I going to have coming out of my number bond? Well, I'm going to have 2 groups, right? 1, 2. How many are in each group? 8. So hopefully that's what your number bond looks like. And now I'm going to write my equation. 2 times 8 equals 16. And what are these two things called? What are these called? They're called factors. And what is the total also called? Product. And what is this picture called? An array. Good job, you guys. Okay, now I want to go over our independent work. You are to do page 19. Does this look familiar? Yeah, this looks familiar, right? We just did it. We just practiced it. And page 20. So page 19 and page 20. All right, good luck with your independent work.